Hey there, fellow city builders. Kodiak the Kodiak here, and I am thrilled to dive into the latest dev diary for City Skylines 2. In today's dev diary titled Road Tools, the developers take us on a journey to explore the exciting new features and improvements in road building. Get ready to revolutionize your city's road networks. One standout feature showcased in this dev diary is the introduction of roundabout intersections. Say goodbye to those frustrating traffic snarls as you embrace a smooth flow of traffic. And that's not all. The developers are also bringing modular road building to the table, allowing you to create custom road networks with ease. But here's the real game changer. There's now traffic accidents in City Skylines 2 that they teased in the dev diary themselves that works along road maintenance, buildings, and police. Before we dive deeper into the dev diary, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any future updates about City Skylines 2, as I will be doing an update video for every single dev diary and an extra video this week getting everyone caught up on everything they've said on every single platform about the new game. All right, it's time to hit the road. Join me as we uncover every fascinating detail about road tools in City Skylines 2. All right, so the first thing we're going to be looking at today is the actual dev diary itself. There is a lot of information in here, but there's also a ton of information in the actual gameplay trailer that they dropped with this as well, which we'll also be looking at right after we're done looking at the dev diary. But there are some things in this dev diary that kind of give you an explanation of certain features that goes a little bit more in depth and tells you about some things that they don't go into detail about or just briefly touch on in the actual trailer itself. And it left out one huge thing in the trailer, so I definitely want to go over the dev diary, so we're going to start skimming through that together right now. The trailer and the dev diary itself will be featuring screenshots and videos from $2.20 City that they made for the first trailer, which was, again, really cool. I'm super happy for them and really excited they had the opportunity to do that because we actually got to see somebody from the community work and build with the city. Like, this is something that they made. So it's super cool. This is like a very realistic city. It's not something the developers put together. It's just something that another creator put together. So if you want to see anything from $2.20, I will put a link in the description to their channel. And I'll also put a little annotation somewhere up on the screen where you can go to their original video talking about building the city. So without further ado, let's get into it. First things first is a description on the actual grid tool. It will be a triple click feature, so you click once to pick where you want it to start, click a second time to figure out the width, and the third time to figure out the length, and then it will build it. They also talk about some new features with the roads details, like road length, the angles of the road, the slope of the road is a new feature as well that they'll actually tell you about. And so that's all really cool, really nice new features. So yeah, grid tool and new details about roads as we're building it. Super cool. They've also added the new replace tool, which is a replacement, I guess, of the upgrade tool, which will add a ton of new features to the old upgrade tool, and you guys are really going to dig it when we get further into the trailer, which kind of highlights the replace tool a bit more. And they do confirm the parallel road tool, which is great. Parallel road building mode, something that we probably all kind of have wanted at one point or another, building highway networks. So really cool that they've added that into the base game. So very cool and awesome. Down here, they do give a description on the actual snapping options for the road, so we're going to quickly go through them. Existing geometry, zone cell length, 90-degree angles, sides of buildings, snap to guidelines, and zone grid. So those are all the different ways that you can snap, and then the star, I believe, is just toggling snapping, probably on or off. So a bunch of new ways to actually snap roads to things. We'll go over tool mode in the trailer because they give a better description of it in there. That's kind of the most we're going to get about those features in this actual dev diary. So we'll move on to the actual building automatic intersections when you build roads across roads. I thought this was a really cool feature. I can see some use cases where this will be really helpful, especially when if you're building grids across other roads, this could be really helpful, or just like anything across roads. There's definitely been situations where I've wanted to use this, but it will basically just automatically create intersections when you draw roads across roads. Now, This next feature is super cool, and this was something that I think I noticed in the initial trailer that I don't think a lot of other people noticed, and that was the actual retaining walls over here. My speculations were correct. They do have retaining walls because there is a new cut and fill construction for roads, where if you want to keep your road the same elevation or a sloping elevation and you don't want it to follow the actual terrain, you can build with the cut and fill mode. And when you do that, it actually cuts into the mountainside, puts a retaining wall there, or if you want to build over a ravine, it will put a concrete basically structure all the way to the ground, bridge functionally, and it will allow your road to maintain its slope, which is super cool. I think that will be really, really unique and pretty, and I think it'll just kind of improve everybody's city. We also have highways with pillars will now build over roads or integrate it into roads. You know, this is something, as somebody who lives in America, this is something that's very common when you build roads under freeways, especially in urban areas where the pillars have to go somewhere. And a lot of times the cars will drive on both sides of the pillars, which is super cool. So that actually gets integrated into the roads, as you can see here. I think that's really cool. Really nice and useful, and it helps you create basically roads that are elevated on top of one another, so you can make better stacked roads now, which is super cool. That's something that's super realistic in a lot of cities, especially here in America. So I'm very excited for this new feature, and it's definitely something I didn't expect them to add, but I'm very happy that they added. So down here, they're starting to show off a bit more of the modular road structures where we can actually build outer lanes as we expand from a 2-lane road to a 3-lane road. We can turn this lane into an actual off-ramp lane where it's a slow down lane, and it's just a cool feature. I mean, this will really help with traffic flow and the inevitable traffic accidents, which we'll get into later. This is going to really help with traffic flow and lane mathematics from your good old friend Biffa. They do go into detail here, kind of discussing how bus lanes work and how tram tracks work. They will be using the replace tool, which we'll kind of go into later and we'll see a little bit more of. But basically, instead of building roads like you did in City Skylines 1 and upgrading them from a generic road to a road with bus lanes, you now will use the replace tool and replace sections of that road with the bus lane. So just a really cool addition and allows for a lot more freedom with roads. That makes total sense now from the original trailer when we had the tram going across the roundabout. This is how they built that. So good insight, and now I kind of like understand a bit more how those functions work. Another really cool feature is that they're basically adding plazas and promenades to the base game of City Skylines 2. So there's now going to be pedestrian streets where you can build houses, and you can have service vehicles go down them, but no motor vehicles that are for private use can go down them. So it's just pedestrians walking and service vehicles, which is super cool. I'm glad that this is a base game feature so we can build our anti-car centric cities of our dreams. They also have some very cool pedestrian bridges as well, which is really cool. I like the detail added to that. They also go into detail about how intersections are placeable on top of existing roads now. Now, I know you can do this with mods in City Skylines 1, but this is now a base game feature in City Skylines 2, and it will definitely make road building and intersection building a lot easier for those of us who are not as intersection savvy, let's say. You will now be able to more easily create those intersections from pre-made assets, which I'm sure we'll be able to get from whatever mod workshop they choose to use. So very cool. They then also go into detail about roundabouts, which is super cool. Roundabouts are, in fact, a different option in comparison to traffic lights. You can just drag and drop them onto an intersection. You'll see that in the gameplay trailer later, but really cool. There's different sizes, and yeah, all around just a super cool addition to the game that I definitely feel like is a necessity when we talk about traffic accidents. You know, in City Skylines 1, you'll have cars just flying every which way, and they're like running through each other. Well, now hopefully we won't have that. The next feature is parking. We now have a demand for parking in the road info view, where you actually will see how much parking is necessary for certain areas, if they're getting enough, if they're not getting enough. If you've ever played the Traffic Manager's President Edition mod on City Skylines 1, this is a feature you can enable in that mod, and this is basically just in the base game now. I think it functions probably the same way. The only difference is that you can build modular parking lots, and they need to be affordable and accessible to the businesses or housing that people want to get to for their vehicles. So if you build a car-centric city, please keep in mind that you're gonna have to build a lot of parking. So public transit for the win here, but still really cool, super realistic. I'm very excited for this. This is like one of those things that, like, I don't know why, but it gets me the most excited for the new game. I love like doing the micromanaging of building the parking lots and figuring out like which ones I need to build and stuff like that. So this is very cool for me. So as we go down here, we'll get to the road maintenance section where they talk about traffic accidents. This is a really cool new feature that will add a ton of immersion, where we talk about traffic accidents. You know, before in City Skylines 1, you just had cars running through one another, and now there's apparently going to be accidents. Now, I have no idea how these accidents will function. I don't know if they're just entirely dependent on road condition, or if two cars run into each other, they cause an accident. But there is going to be a need for road condition management, which is great. I'm a huge fan of that. I'm a big fan of having to maintain road condition as somebody who lives in a state here in the United States where our roads suck real bad. It's really cool that we're able to actually maintain them now. So you'll have to do snow conditions and also actual road conditions themselves. And if they're poor, cause accidents, which will halt traffic, causing gridlocks until they are secured and cleared. Road maintenance then takes care of these traffic accident aftermaths, clearing out the debris and allowing traffic to continue safely after the police have cured the site of the accident. So not only will you need road maintenance to secure the site of the accident, you'll need police. So I can imagine this could just spiral your city's traffic out of control. So this is super cool. I'm super excited for this. I think this is a great, cool new addition. Additional road options as well. This just kind of discusses all of the things with the replace tool. You can actually remove crosswalks now in the base game. You can have wide sidewalks. You can have the roads with trees. Basically, it just kind of discusses all of the additions with the road replace tool. As we scroll down here, we're just kind of met with the roadmap of the dev diary. So this kind of gives us an update of which dev diaries are coming when. So there's a new one on June 26th. So make sure you guys subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see that dev diary when it comes out, because I will definitely be doing an update video on that one as well, because this one is just chock full of information and I want to see what's going on with the traffic AI. Now, they also dropped a brand new trailer with this dev diary that includes some narration, so we will be listening to it with the audio. This is not the one that they showed at the Xbox Games Showcase. This is a brand new trailer that dropped with this dev diary. So let's hop into that. Okay, so as I just stated, there is narration and music with this one, so it may be a little quieter, but just keep in mind that the narrator is giving us practical information and explanations about it, so I will be pausing it when needed to discuss certain features and as we look at stuff. So I'll probably pause right away, right when we see the first shot, and then anytime that we need stuff. If you guys want to watch this on your own, the link is in the description below, but we're going to watch through it all together right here. So let's do that.
The roads crisscrossing your city are...
So let's just take a second here to just look at this wide shot. Really nice wide shot. It looks like we have tunnels that kind of go under this road here and then go under the row homes. That's super cool. Really like that. I like how fluid this all is. We have this on-off ramp that leads to the center of the road here, and then we have these parallel roads running. One's going like one way and then one's going the other way. Really cool. This is like a road network that would just be like the biggest pain in the butt to build in Cities 1. So just seeing this built by $2.20 is super cool. So
more than a means of transport. By connecting citizens to their work, families, and communities, they are the...
We're going to take a pause here, and I did notice some bikes over here. Now, I know that they said that bikes are not going to be included at launch because they're not ready, which is a big bombshell that they dropped on Twitter. And if you haven't been upkeeping with what they've been talking about on Twitter or even on their own personal website, please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I will be doing an update video on everything we know about Cities Skylines 2 sometime later this week or next week with the next dev diary. So please make sure you guys are subscribed. But it does look like we have some pets over here as well. We have a tram road right in the middle here, and we have a motorcycle over here. So some cool, just little tiny things.
Veins and arteries of your city's beating heart.
I'm just going to take a pause on all of these screens just so you guys can like take it all in. We have some really cool unique intersection here with the tram tracks kind of running straight through it. I love that. I love how that works. I'm so interested to see how it works to build these.
Every pathway you carve out shapes the routine every day. And open...
Over here, we can start to see a lot more pedestrians and a lot more traffic in this scene. This is probably the most traffic we've seen in one shot so far. Now, I don't know if that's just because $2.20 did a really good job building the city, or if they like turned down the traffic for this, or if there's just not that much traffic in cities too. I don't know, but still really unique.
The door to the extraordinary events that define their lives. City building starts.
This is just another shot of that on-off ramp, which you can see here.
Roads allow people, goods, and services to move through your city, of course. And in City Skylines 2, all roads except for highways automatically carries water, electricity, and sewage lines.
Right there. So that was something that I thought was going to be a thing based on the pipes below the road. Now, we know that water and sewage are going to be carried, but we don't know what that third thing was, right?
Automatically carries water, electricity, and sewage lines.
Electricity and sewage. So the one is electricity as well. So we will have underground electricity, water, and sewage connected with our roads. That's great. That's super cool. As we can see here, we can see where an asymmetrical road kind of connects up to the 2-lane road. Little disappointed by how this looks. It definitely doesn't look that clean. They do show the arrow here where the traffic is supposed to merge right here. So that's nice. We can still see where the merge is going to happen based on these white lines on all the roads. But I'm just a little disappointed at how this actually blurs together. Maybe that'll look better later, but it just reminds me of Cities 1 and with how impressive everything's been so far. That was a little disheartening, but it is really cool that we don't have to manage our power lines between sections of our city or our water or our sewage anymore. So that's really nice. I'm sure you still might have to if it's like off a road somewhere really far, collecting water from the river or something. But
it's a shortcut that lets you focus on what you love about city building.
We have a little bit of view of the water availability, water trait. Now, this was a really interesting thing I didn't expect to see, but apparently you can sell your water collection, which is something that places do. So like here in Michigan, we sell water sometimes, bottle it, sell it. Those are the Great Lakes. So this is a really interesting thing. So apparently we can now export our water to other cities, maybe that are more in a desert climate that have to import it. So this is really interesting. I don't know how this is going to function, but still really cool. I definitely didn't expect to see that, and was something when I first watched this, I was like, what? What?
Sooner, you'll construct and refine your road network.
I don't know if you guys just noticed, but when you drag buildings onto things now, they like kind of do a little wobble. I just think that's fun. But this is healthcare and death care and everything. You do get this weird linking thing when they went to go place a second clinic down. I don't know if you can like build modular clinic hospitals or what, but it does say overlapping items. So maybe if you place them close enough together, they'll link. I don't know. Speculation. I just thought it was interesting.
They're easy to learn and flexible, inviting you to follow your creative impulses. Returning players will welcome upgrades to the road tools that introduce several of the most wished for features. Other features are totally new.
So I wanted to let that play through so you guys could see down here in tool mode. So we'll go back through and read through all of them. So we'll be able to actually look at all the tool modes and the descriptions. So they went through each and every single one. So we have straight from point A to point
Players
B.
Will welcome up.
We have simple curve, define a start and bend, then define an endpoint. So there's A, B, and C basically.
Grades to the road tools that
Then define a start and a middle point, bend, then bend again for the endpoint. So you basically make a straight line, bend it, then you make the next bend around to the endpoint. So that's a really cool road tool. I'm sure I will actually get a ton of use out of that.
Do several of the most
and then there's continuous, an endless series of bends.
wished for features.
We have grid, place point A, point B, drag sideways, click grid. That's the 3-click one.
Other features?
And then replace, which is where you can replace types on top of each other. That's how you build these, I guess, modular roads.
Are totally new. Use the road tools to create seamless city blocks in just 3 clicks.
So there's our
in
grid.
No time, you'll lay long, beautiful stretches of road to link lively residential and industrial districts to your buzzing city center. Just like that, you'll thread traffic along wide, curving streets and elegant, elevated
It looks so
highways.
good. I think the smoke looks like but everything, like the lighting of this game is just like
You'll even add bridges and tunnels in only a few clicks.
Looks so good.
Intersections have been
okay. So this is a really cool intersection, and this is where they're going to start talking about how you can place intersections on top of
in City Skylines 2. Placement rules are less restrictive, and you can use pre-made intersections on new and existing roads. You can also
pretty cool.
add roundabouts.
This is where they go over the
There.
roundabouts.
From gentle suburban roundabouts to roaring multi-lane.
I haven't seen how you can customize them between like pavement and grass yet, just for the context for everybody. I don't know if it just creates pavement if you put like a tram track over it like this. Haven't figured that out yet, so we'll see.
Roundabouts. It's never been easier to engineer uninterrupted streams of traffic. That's because roads will be configured automatically, so vehicles can enter and exit the roundabout safely. Simply drop.
So there's different sizes. You saw them do that, and then this is the roundabout tool. So you basically just
your preferred
drag it and
roundabout
drop
over
it, and it turns it into a roundabout intersection. Super cool, super easy.
Existing intersection, and ta-da! A whole new way to move people, goods, and services through your city. Decide the direction of.
I want to pause right here because we get a close-up on some of the Sims. The Sims definitely look like an upgrade from Cities 1. They're not amazing, but you have a lot of them being rendered. I didn't expect them to be amazing. So I think it looks good. They look good enough, but this is where they're going to start to go into more details about how intersections actually work. And it's really interesting.
Traffic and how it flows by placing traffic lights, crosswalks, and directional no-turn traffic signs and stop signs.
So basically what you have is a bunch of different options for the road. So for example, you can place a traffic light here, just like you would with the junction control in Cities 1, or a stop sign, right? So you can toggle between the stop signs or the traffic lights. Now you can do no right turn, you can do no left turn, you can add crosswalks, remove crosswalks, add a grassy median, add trees, add streetlights. I don't know how that's going to work. Very cool though. And then we also now have sound barriers, which I'll show off here.
Erect sound barriers and.
I don't like how that looks on the corner here, but still really cool that you can have these sound barriers. I hope that there's different types of like designs for them too.
Construct parking lots. That's another new feature in City Skyline 2. And for returning players, it means Christmas has come early.
This is
you
true.
You can even add decorative touches if you want to. They don't just make your city pretty, they can be useful too. So those trees you use to line sidewalks add charm and reduce noise pollution.
I wonder if the trees reduce noise pollution less in the winter, but potentially the snow might have an effect on noise pollution as well, or they don't go that deep. Maybe they don't go that deep. But I mean, that would be like pretty realistic if they did.
Building a city is a process of exploration and experimentation. You'll try stuff out. Some of it you'll like, and some you won't. Want to change an existing.
All right, so this is where you'll start to see the modular road function kind of come together. So I'm going to pause a lot and not listen to what she has to say. Sorry. But you'll see here, we have this third road. This is what happens when you go from a 2-lane highway to a 3-lane highway. You'll see the dashed line appear and you can actually merge into that side lane, right?
Road, use the
and then
replaced.
This is the new replace tool. She grabs the or whoever's doing this grabs the 1-lane exit ramp.
It's like
grabs that curve tool, and as you notice, they grab onto this, and you notice that there's these lines, and I believe you can select which lane you want that lane to connect to. So my guess is that if you pick the 2-lane road and you grabbed here, you would go on the white lines, and then you can pick which 2 lanes build off of where you select. So as we move over here, you can actually see it actually grab onto these lanes as they move through. So now it's on the middle lane and now it's on the far lane. So this is that modular road structure that I was telling you guys about. This is how I assume it works. I mean, granted, I haven't played the game yet, and I'm just making assumptions based on the video and what I'm seeing. But that looks like how it works.
Road network,
which looks really cool. I mean, like that was so fluid. You just built something that would have taken a lot, like not a ton of time, but like a decent amount of time to make something that looks this clean too. You don't need the intersection marking tool if you want it to look realistic. Like this just looks so much better and faster than Cities 1.
Change your mind about a road? Bulldoze tool to the rescue. Click, 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 and that road is a thing of the past. Road building is more intuitive and nuanced in Cities Skylines 2, and every pathway.
I have to show you guys this. There's like clipping where you can see under the ground. I had to show you. I had to.
Nuanced in Cities Skylines 2, and every pathway has a far-reaching impact. Build your city's roads as a testament to your ambition and a promise to citizens that anything is possible.
Looks great. So much cool, good stuff in there. I hope that you guys are excited as I am. And please make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button so that way you guys can keep up to date on any of the dev diaries, because I will be doing an update video on every single one of them as soon as I can get them out. So this one will hopefully be up either the day this dev diary came out or the day after. So if you guys are watching this is new and fresh and hot information. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are excited as I am. If you are or aren't, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear about it. I want to hear what you guys' criticisms are, what your positives are, the things that you're excited about. And I hope that you guys are excited as I am for City Skylines 2. Happy building, folks.